Ready.
You've got the bill about charter schools. A lot of people
Yes.
really don't understand what charter schools are. Can you explain that?
There are public schools that, instead of being zoned for them, parents enroll their children in them by choice. But they're public schools.
Public schools. And so tell me the need for them in the state of Alabama.
Well, the most obvious need is in systems where we have what the State Department of Education calls persistently failing schools. And there are about 61 of them, which means that these schools for 3 years in a row have been in the bottom 5% statewide in both reading and math assessments. So that's a pretty bad school. And the idea is you bring charters into those areas and give those parents some choice, because it seems a little hard to say the state of Alabama officially says this is a failing school, but you have to send your kid there.
So number one question on the minds of taxpayers will be, is there additional cost for these schools?
No, not that the taxpayers will bear, because they'll be funded on a per student. I mean, they're just public schools. So when kids enroll, the money follows the student just like it does now with public education. So as far as the taxpayers go, there won't be any new burden.
All right, and you just feel like this is a better opportunity, a little more competitive for public school children. What other problems does this alleviate?
Well, first let's be clear. I mean, it's no silver bullet. You're not going to solve all your education problems, because charters are not going to be appropriate in every situation. But in certain places, allowing a school to operate that's not governed directly by the local board, that has more flexibility, is especially effective for underserved student groups. And there are a lot of those in Alabama. And very few charters nationwide deal with gifted students. Most of them are dealing with, like I said, underserved groups. That would be English as a second language students, or sometimes they're special ed, sometimes they're maybe you could have a charter school just for kids that are more than 2 grade levels behind, because statistically those kids just don't graduate ever. And you've got some charters that are just for those kids. So there's an endless variation that you can have, but they just allow flexibility that a normal public school just doesn't have right now.
41 other states have charter schools. What are the outcomes in those states, generally speaking?
Mixed. The state laws are vastly different. And sometimes Alabama tends to be last on everything. But the good part about being one of the last states to adopt a charter law is we have been able to see where other states have gotten into trouble. And God willing, we have avoided the pitfalls. So I think we've got a pretty good law.
All right, excellent. And what do you think are the chances of passage? Where's the bill, and how can people be helpful?
Well, call your senator is the way to help. The main problem is going to be what the Education Options Act does. You are asking legislators to vote to give up a good bit of their power. I mean, when we grant these flex options in the bill to all schools and add charters as well, we're asking senators and representatives to vote to sort of back off and let local people have much more power when it comes to running their schools. And a lot of legislators don't want to give up that authority. So, but I think we can get it passed, but we are going to need a lot of public support.
And so contacting senators, do you personally have a website that people can go to?
Yes, but the House bill is already on the state site. It's House Bill 541, I think. And the Senate bill hasn't been introduced yet. And as soon as it is, I'll have it on there too. And if you go to brewbakerforsenate.com, it's right there.
And it's brew like B-R-E-W.
That's right, Brewbaker, like B-R-E-W-B-A-K-E-R.
Senator Brewbaker, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.